Thank you for inviting me to address this Tallinn Digital Summit. I am very honored. In the past, I have had an Estonian graduate student interning in my parliamentary office, and she later joined the Estonian Defense Ministry and the Foreign Ministry. This connection led me to establish the Japan-Estonia Parliamentary Friendship League. So I am very happy to be here or there as a digital minister of Japan. Before talking about some digital issues, as former foreign minister and defense minister, I would like to reiterate that Japan strongly condemns Russia's unprovoked and unjustifiable atrocity in Ukraine. The Russian aggression undermines the sound development of the global economy, as well as human rights and the security of our citizens. Japan stands with Ukraine and the neighboring countries. For digital technology to contribute to people's well-being and prosperity, rather than being a threat to them, we need to manage the technology and win trust from the people. We are now asking people to apply for the national ID card with a chip. As of now, just about half of the people hold the ID card. The Estonian government has led the world in using digital technologies to advance the well-being of its people. And Japan has a lot to learn from you. I became minister in charge of vaccine rollout in January last year. We were trying to vaccinate more than 100 million people twice in very short time. But to my astonishment, our health ministry never thought we needed to use a digital system to keep track of who has been vaccinated. They thought they could just count papers, and I had to develop a new system just in 2 months. Or until last year, if you visited the Tokyo Automobile Registration Office, you would see a state-of-the-art conveyor physically moving application papers to the next post. It must have been the most advanced system in 1980s, but European ambassadors posted in Tokyo will encounter fax machines actively in use in their office still today. And I, as digital minister, had to declare war on floppy disks, which the laws still require for certain government procedures. That is the state of digital transformation of the government in Japan today. So we established the digital agency September last year to be the command post to accelerate digital transformation of Japan. As a start, we are now sweeping out analog regulations in the laws that require paper, floppy disk, or even cassette tapes for the government procedures in order to improve productivity of the government and the industries. There are several thousands of them, and I believe it would take 2 years. The digital agency is aiming at 3 things. First, we will create a better, easier, more user-friendly government procedures with digital technologies. Belatedly, we are installing our national ID card into smartphones, and the people need not come to the government offices anymore. We will also create the rules and environment for the government and the private sector to be able to use big data collected through digital technology for policy making and growth. Japan, with the aging population, faces many issues which the other developed economies will eventually experience. We need to find solutions now. Health data and data related with elders will show us the way forward. Thirdly, we will participate global rule making. Next year, we are hosting the G7 meetings. The promotion of DFFT, or Data Free Flow with Trust, is one of the major topics for the G7 Hiroshima Summit. The late Prime Minister Abe proposed DFFT at Davos in 2019, and it was endorsed by the leaders at the G20 Osaka summit. And the importance of this concept has been shared at many international conferences and other meetings to date. We would like to make some concrete proposal for the DFFT in the G7, including establishment of the Digital Alliance to operationalize DFFT. I do hope to have some opportunities to discuss the proposal with Estonia as well. To ensure the free flow of data, we need to consider security, privacy, data protection, and intellectual property rights. Unfortunately, many governments have already established their own data protection rules with different emphasis. So while respecting the different data governance practices in each country, we need to promote transparency of regulations, systems, and other instruments related to data flows to improve the interoperability. Then we need to show the benefits of data flow and increased interoperability to the people by accumulating specific use cases and knowledge, such as using international standards for electronic invoicing to ensure smooth data flow among mutual countries, and sharing vaccine records among different countries, and so forth. Ensuring security and trust is essential for these use cases, and privacy is particularly important where people's activities are used for data analysis. We believe that an approach through technologies such as PETs, privacy-enhancing technologies, could be effective. We are now trying to look into a crystal ball to see the future that Web3 might bring about. The digital agency plays a role of the command post to make the government strategy for Web3 here. We probably need to start from some drastic change in our education system, and it is necessarily not only for Web3 but also Japan's digital transformation as well. Japan has made a very significant leap forward in the 20th century and was very successful with many analog technologies. We produced Sony, Canon, Honda, Panasonic, and many more. Walkman, Nintendo games, color television, videos, cameras, automobiles, and many more products came out of Japan to the global market. But we have been trapped by our own past success stories. Now we need to start from all over. But I am optimistic. As my parents' generation built a country and economy from the ash after the war, I am confident that we can catch up with the world in digital. Estonia and what you have done with digital technology is one of our role models. I am very much looking forward to visiting you in person near future. Thank you very much.